Right now, investigators are searching for a motive after the gunman opened fire at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, killing 49 people. Officials say the suspect pledged allegiance to ISIS during the attack, but that it appears he was self-radicalized over the internet. Now, at the same time, Pulse nightclub goers are now coming forward saying that they had seen him there before at the nightclub. One man claiming he was a regular for years, while another reports that he recognized him from a gay dating app. All of this while his father suggests he was driven by hate and his ex-wife calls him mentally ill and abusive. So what does all of this tell investigators? Ron Martinelli is a retired police officer, a forensic criminologist, and also a medical investigator. A lot of possibilities here from your expertise. This is what you do for a living. What's your read?
Well, of course, I do a lot of profiling in this nature. Obviously, this Mr. Mateen is conflicted, but I think we have to look back on this issue of radicalization. A lot of these people actually start the radicalization at home with a family member, having listened to the father and seeing the disingenuous statements that he's made, which don't reconcile with the actual facts about his support for Al-Qaeda and terrorism. I think the radicalization, more likely than not, started with the father, and then the movement resonated with him. We know now from the digital footprint he got on the Anawaki site and was looking at a lot of ISIS and radical terrorist jihadi propaganda, and I think it just grew from there.
That's interesting because sort of the common narrative that we've been hearing a lot is that he was anti-gay, or he may have been gay himself, and a lot of folks getting tied up in that one. But you know, I'm wondering if that really matters. If it matters that he's an Islamist fundamentalist who was caught in that mindset because of his father and his upbringing, or because of something else.
No, and I don't, and I think he was, I think we're going to find out he was very conflicted sexually, and then of course, you know, homosexuality is disavowed and in not only the Muslim community, but in the jihadi community.
But are we kind of getting sucked down a hole, I wonder, because it seems like what this is really about is about terrorism. A man over here killing 49 innocent Americans. Are we losing sight of what that is all about?
Well, I hope we don't lose sight, because you know, terrorism is terrorism, hate is hate, and violence and killing is all of the same thing. So for me, it doesn't really matter what types of sexual conflicts he had or psychological conflicts. The bottom line is he became radicalized in the United States. I believe more likely than not it started at home. It didn't secede, it continued and grew, and this was the end result of that. And by the way, as the FBI and law enforcement know, there are thousands of people with this same background in the United States, and so our vetting system has really got to change the parameters of how we investigate these things, how we interview people, and you know, how we develop a prioritization of who we are going to surveil and enforce our laws against. That that paradigm needs to change.
One of the things we keep hearing is that we just don't have enough resources. The FBI and other agencies don't have enough money, don't have enough manpower. One of the things that you're focused on, you say that the FBI is just simply not working enough with local law enforcement, with local police officials like yourself when you worked for the NYPD.
Well, and I was with the San Jose Police Department of California, but your comment is well taken. You know, throughout the United States, we have centers that are called fusion centers, and we have them in almost all of the 50 states, if not all of them. And this is, what is a fusion center? It's where the Federal Bureau of Investigations and Central Intelligence and law enforcement are supposed to commingle and share information. And if the federal authorities can't do something, they need to be handing that information over to local law enforcement, because we use sometimes different investigative protocols, and sometimes we can actually be more successful at the local level. At least our communities know.
The feds didn't. That's an interesting point. Ron Martinelli, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.